We on? How's everyone doing? Just make sure, just give me a thumbs up or a comment to make sure everyone can hear me. And we shall begin. All right, well, I'm guessing everyone, we've got 9 people in, so I'm guessing everybody can hear me. No one said anything. There we go. Bozza said yes. Fantastic. Well, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Black and White United Show. I'm your host, Andreas. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. A little bit to get through, and then if we have enough time, I'll share the link and we can jump in for some fan cams and stuff and just have a quick chat. But for those of you that have joined in so far, I know there's a few channels that have actually popped up tonight. Tuesday is usually the busiest night, with all these channels and stuff like that. So I'm really appreciative that you're all on. Just before we start, just to let you guys know, we still have hoodies. Hoodies are up for grabs still. There's been a few sales, which has been really nice. Is it in my mouth or is it on the screen? Anyway, so we've got hoodies that are out. Memberships are available, so there's a few people that have bought a membership to the channel, which is fantastic. I'm going to start posting frequently more and stuff like that, so you'll be getting members-only videos and that type of stuff coming up soon, which will be really cool. But tonight, I want to just talk about the injuries that obviously we've copped over the weekend. Dan Houston's suspension, who can possibly come in for us. I want to just quickly touch on the Maynard contract. What are we expecting also against Sydney for Gather Round? And then we can jump on and have a chat to some fans if we have enough time. I'll still go for an hour tonight, obviously. Sorry about the delay getting on. I just wanted to make sure everything was perfect. Now, before we start also, I do want to actually say a big thank you to, I'm going to pop it up here, New Homes Victoria. You should see it up the top here. So Angelo Adamo from New Homes Victoria has kindly become a sponsor for the channel, so which is awesome. So I will be displaying his logo and giving him shout outs and stuff like that for everything. So if you are looking to purchase a new home off the plan, jump on realestate.com, find a home design that you like and contact them, and they will definitely look after you guys. So just a huge, massive thank you for supporting the channel. It's greatly appreciated. And if anyone else wants to get involved, please hit me up and we can go from there. But let's get straight to it. So first of all, on Sunday, actually, let's backtrack from that too. The game against Carlton. So we've done our review. We've spoken about it, whatever. Great win. Not the greatest of games, but against them, it's always a great win, right? John DeGoey goes off at the start of the third quarter. The message portrayed to the fans and to everybody else was that it was simply a precautionary substitution. And he looked up and about, like on the bench and stuff, like it was all sweet. Maybe they're just resting him. We're going away. We're gonna be on the road for the next 2 games or whatever it is. Every Collingwood supporter in the back of their mind had, oh shit, what's he done? Because there is absolutely no way in God's name you're taking out Jordan DeGoey. No, so it's not happening in my books. So, everybody's got that in the back of their mind, and then obviously it comes out, a day later or something like that, he's got calf or Achilles soreness and stuff like that, and it's only going to be 1 week. I call bullshit. I call this guy's man out of glass. He's a gun footballer, and when he's on, right? He can be the most damaging player in our team. Not the most influential, but short spurts, he is the most damaging footballer on our side, regardless of anything, okay? What pisses me off the most now is that we are going to have to deal with already. we're having people talk about trade bait. And I'm not buying into it. I'm sorry. I'm all for us getting Matt Rao from Gold Coast, but it's not going to be for a trade for Jordan De Goey, because Rao's going to take Jordan De Goey's spot in the midfield, and Jordan De Goey is going to go up forward because we're going to lose Jamie Elliott soon. You know, one of the Triple M's isn't going to be playing in the next couple of years, right? Which I think might be probably my check. Who knows what's going to happen? Okay, so you need to have Geordie in there. He's not trade bait. I'm not buying it. But something's going to happen, because it's not going to be, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, and God, I hope I'm wrong, I don't think it's going to be a 1 week injury. I think this is going to be a 2 to 3 week injury. Now, Sunday. Also, my missus has moved the lamp here, so I've got to try to figure out this lighting business, because I have to put this light on, otherwise it's too dark. And I've got this light beaming in my head, it's pissing me off, but I'll fix it next week. So I'll just sit here. What gets me is, they do a training session on Sunday. You've just played on Thursday. Why are you going that hard that you're going to pull your hammy? Now, I've played footy since I was 9. I'm 36, okay? I know, not AFL standard, but I know when you've got a short turnaround on games or whatever it is, you don't go hard for a recovery session. That's what it is, a recovery session, run the legs over, and that's it. How on earth can you go that hard, you pull your hammy, and you're out for almost a month of football? So now, we're going to lead into the Dan Houston suspension. You've got Jordan De Goey out for 1 week. You're going to have Lachie Schultz out for 3. And then you've got Dan Houston out for 2. Now, Dan Houston is the best asset to this football club that we've got over the past few years. I know we've got Bobby Hill, Tom Mitchell, McStay. The year before, we got Lachie Schultz, and it's all worked, and it's working, and it could lead to something good towards the end of the year, whatever, right? But when you've got players like Tom Mitchell out, you need to have all your stars playing, because when Tom Mitchell's 100% fit, he's in the side, whatever. He's great. He's in the team. It's awesome. Ned Long's putting a big question mark to that, though, but which we won't talk about that too much, but he's a starter for me now, 100% all the time. What gets me is you've come off 5 week suspension from Port Adelaide, right? You've missed opening round. And I said this in my last video, it wouldn't have made a difference. GWS gave it to us. End of story. No one player would have changed the result, but it would have changed momentums in the game had he played 100%. But it's not going to win us the game. We played shit that day. But you've come in the side, and you've made an immediate impact. Why would you do something so stupid? Are you that desperate not to go back to Adelaide? Do you just not want to go there? Now, I know there wasn't much in it, whatever, this, that, but it's just so stupid after you've just missed finals for your opposing, like the team that you just left. You've just missed out on a final series. They could have had you, and you know what? If they had you, they may have even gone a step further in the finals. Who knows? At that time, they were playing better, right, than what they are now. Anyway, without Lachie Schultz, without Jordan De Goey, and without Dan Houston, we have to look at our inclusions. I think Will Hoskin-Elliott comes straight in, plays off the halfback. I think Lachie Sullivan comes in, potentially. Ed Allen needs to come in. And I'll tell you who's knocking down the door. There are 2 other players that are knocking down the door, and that's going to be Mason Cox, and that's going to be Oleg Markov, right? If anything happens from now until game day on Friday to any of the forwards, Charlie West needs to come in, right? We could potentially be seeing up to 5 changes this week. I don't think so. I think there'll be 3, just the like for likes, but potentially there could be up to 5. Who knows? It's just, I mean, the good part is we've got these young kids that are ready to go. So you've also got Jacob Ryan, played all right. TJ played really good. These guys will be like, hey, there's a half-back flanker that's missing. This is our opportunity to go in, right? And then you've got to think about also who's going in as a sub and all this type of crap too. So, look, it's going to be very interesting with the team selection this week. I think, though, for Lachie Schultz, you probably, I don't even know who, maybe a Sullivan would come in. Dan Houston, you'd have Will Hoskin-Elliott coming off the half-back. And for Jordan De Goey, Don't know. He played forward, I suppose. I don't know. You'd have to look at the matchups, I suppose. But I'll get to some of the comments now. So we touched on those. I'll just get to some of the comments. So Bozza said the camera pointed to his foot and he has ice on it. I knew he had done another injury. So I didn't see that because obviously I was at the game. So there you go. Bozza also said, thank God I'm not the only one that doesn't think that's a 1 week injury on your trace. I'm shocked. I'm shocked on the injury list has been listed as 1 week given his injury history. Look, if it is just the 1 weeker and they're playing it like precautionary, like he potentially could play, just rest it, and then get ready for Brisbane, okay. But to be honest, if you're going to be on a plane, you're going to be flying, you're going to have air pressure, all that type of stuff. I know it sounds stupid, but Geelong did it with Gary Ablett when he came back to Geelong. They managed him. You're probably going to have to do something like that and just keep him going for Anzac Day. I reckon Will Hoskin, Elliott, Allen, and Sullivan will play. That's probably what I'm thinking as well. So that was Allen with the midfield now. You probably want to have Ed Allen come in. But yeah, I mean, Ed Allen should be all right against Sydney. Chris said Will Hoskin, Elliott, Cox, Sully, Ed Allen, and O-League. They can all potentially come in. So, all right. So this is another point. This is actually the next point that I wanted to make here. Bo McCreary needs to up his game. I'm going to call out 3 players. And most of you probably, if you watch my other video, you know who they are. First one, Bo McCreary. Get your 10 to 12 disposal game. Change that to between 18 and 20 disposals. Get more of the ball. And then from that, impact the scoreboard more. Bo McCreary does everything perfect off the ball. Tackling pressure, general pressure around the ground, shepherding, like everything that you're supposed to do as a footballer when you don't have the ball in hand to influence the game, he is the master at it, okay? Presenting, leading out into space, and like opening everything up, great. To let the Triple M's do their thing, 100%. Get the ball more, because when you get the ball and you hit a target, it's perfect. But he needs to lift. The second one, Bobby Hill. With De and Schultz out, and I'm going to put this out there, Schultz is a bigger loss than De so whatever. But with them two out, this is a game where Bobby Hill, and I will say it every single week, needs to go out to Adelaide against Sydney, and he needs to kick 5 or 6. He needs to light it up. He needs to pretend he's playing for the Indigenous All-Stars. He needs to play with the fire, the passion, the desire that he's got, because if he tears it up, right, that means Jamie Elliott can have a field day. It means the pressure's off players like Bo McCreary. The 3 Triple M's can go do what the fuck they want, right? They can just play open football. You know, the kicks can come in perfectly. It's all revolved around the impact that Bobby Hill can make. And the third one, I'm going to say this now, Isaac Quaynor. He is probably the most loved, frustrated footballer I've ever watched. He can turn a game and influence little tiny bits of play that can change the result and match win everything for us. And he, to an extent, he still does it. Like last season, the smother against Adelaide, the tackle against, was it Zach Bailey against Brisbane, the tackle he did against Cripps. Just little things out of the back line he does good. But, mate, run through the middle. Get the hand pass off Pendles. Get the hand pass off Nick Dacos. Get the hand pass off Darcy Moore if he's got the ball in a half back. Run. You got a thumping kick. Why is Maynard the one that's kicking all the goals? Why is Maynard kicking 3 goals in the last couple of weeks, playing off the half back or the back pocket? That's Isaac Quaynor's bread and butter. His general play around ground isn't too bad, but he hasn't had that impact that he's had since he took the vice captaincy. He hasn't had the same impact. Now, I was very much so, and I said this in one of my lives and in my videos. There is no way known you could give someone like Isaac Quaynor the vice captaincy, and then he has a pretty crap season last year to his standard. Like any other team, that would have said he's the greatest halfback flanker of all time. But like you're talking like someone who's all Australian form, winning a flag, playing amazing in the finals, who was playing amazing the whole season, to having a real crap season being first-year vice-captain. That's fine. Let him, adjust to the whole leadership role, different role at his workplace, whatever. But this season now, things need to change. You need to step it up now. You need to show everyone why the coaching staff and the players have voted you as a leader of this club, right, to lead them to the next level. Now, I sound like we're getting smashed on my Carlton support, but I guarantee that's not the case. I have very high expectations of our players when they're in the leadership role. You've got to give them the year to adjust. Some adjust better than others. But I really do think that Isaac Quayle needs to take his game to the next level, and I'll be really interested to see what people think too. They're the three that I'm going to call out because it's doing my nut. It's doing my head. It's something vicious. Did you see AFL 26 got announced? Yep, and I bet you any money Paddy Cripps will be on the front cover. So Nick said, against Sydney, I'd put Perryman at half back for Houston, Will Hoskin Elliott in for DeGoey, and maybe Finn McRae for Schultz. I'm not sure, though. What do you think? I don't think Finn McRae is ready to come in yet. He had a decent game against Coburg. I watched the entire game against Coburg, and to be honest, it was just goal for goal, goal for goal, goal for goal. And then Coburg got, in the last quarter, they got 16 points up, and I'm like, they're probably going to run away with it here. And I don't know, we've got this thing about losing against non-affiliated AFL clubs, but the boys responded really well. But it was the guys like Jacob Ryan, TJ, Finn McRae, obviously Oleg kicked that great goal. They really stepped up, which is good to see. Mason Cox was amazing. Mason Cox looked like a grade 6, running around playing footy at recess against grade 2s, taking the piss out of them. You know what I mean? So all these guys that are knocking down the door, they're literally now, you know the saying, it's like, you've got all these guys knocking down the door, they're trying to get into the team, and they're just like thereabouts. These guys, Lockie Sullivan included, these guys are smashing the door down. And I think that some of our players, it's not a criticism because it's just how it is in life in general. When you're at a workplace and you rock up to work every day and you do the same thing, you can get complacent. But I think some of our stars in our team are getting complacent. Not Nick Dacos, not Josh Dacos, not Pendles, not Sidebottom, not the guys that are holding this club, not even Jeremy Howe, right? And he's playing here. He's not playing that bad. I just think some of them, the Isaac Quayners, the Bo McCreary's, the Bobby Hills, right? These are the guys that I said. I do think they're getting a little bit complacent in the team, thinking they're just going to get picked every week. That might not be the case, but from an outsider and from someone who watches our team non-stop all the time, that's what I think. So, sorry, I missed one here. We will need Allen as Swans are a far side. And his speed will be appreciated. Yeah, but he's got to have that defensive effort as well too. But Papley's in a moon boot, and he's not playing against us, I don't think. And good because every decent footballer that doesn't play any good football for a while, as soon as I play against Collingwood, they turn into just fucking Energizer bunnies. It's so annoying. I'm more shattered that Schultz is out than DeGoey, to be honest. I said that before. If we can win 2, this is another good point. I said this in my video. If we can win 2 out of 3, two or 3 of our next 4 would be good. 4 would be perfect, obviously, but 2 or 3. So in my opinion, I think we'll beat Sydney, right? I'm a little bit more of 50-50 compared now because we've lost DeGoey and Schultz, but even with Houston out, I was pretty confident. So let's just say, I'll say we'll give us the benefit of the doubt and we beat Sydney. I don't think we'll beat Brisbane in Brisbane. I just think they're probably, if the goalie plays, it might be different, but without Houston at that ground, I think could really help us. So let's just say, for shits and giggles' sake, we lose that one. If we lose against Essendon Anzac Day, pack it in. We shouldn't be making finals. We can't lose to that rabble of a team. They're just like in the Carlton, in the Melbourne boat for me, regardless of the fact if they've won a game or not. And the other one's against Geelong, which you think, if we have everyone back, we should be able to put them away at the G. But I'll accept 2 out of 4, but I won't accept anything less than 2. Like if we only win 1 game in the next 4, like that's shocking. If we win all 4, we are in such a good spot because the next set of games after Geelong are all winnable. So, yeah. Yep. he is in the front colour. Fuck off. I like Allen, Hayes, Oleg, and Will Hoskin to come in. Hayes, mate. Some of these, I think, it's just reminded me. I think that West, sorry. I think that West might just be the steal of the draft. Now, I know he hasn't played a game yet, and you got other players that have played games. But did you see Whitlock for North Melbourne? I'm sorry, nothing special. Right? I know it's his first sort of hit out, or he's had a couple of games, or whatever it is, but I don't know. I just think he's one of those kids that are going to play for a bit, and then they'll just delist him. But Jesus Christ, West looks like he's just soaking in every bit of education from the VFL, and then maybe 4 or 5 games into AFL thing, he's going to break out something vicious, and he's going to put some of our forwards on notice. Hayes, I reckon he looks good. He looks quick. Probably needs to get a bit bigger. I'm not sure if we'll play much football in AFL-wise this year. I'd probably put Leggy in just for the experience sake, but yeah. Papley is injured. Thought so. Oh no. When you say, oh no, not Mountain Dew, might have to hit the subscribe. The only reason why I got it was because it was the only cans in the fridge in the garage that were cold. The rest of them we only just got from Safeway. So that was the coldest. So I just grabbed it. I'm sorry. Mark, I think some just expect to be walk-up selections, but you hope they would wake up with a couple of surprises thrown in. Yeah, and the thing is too, what happens in the next, let's say the next month, yeah? So Tom Mitchell obviously is not going to be ready by Anzac Day. I predicted him to be ready when he first did his foot to be ready by Anzac Day. If he's not ready by then, let's just say he potentially leading up halfway through the season, King's birthday, he's ready to go, right? If we have any complacent guys on the team, he's going to come straight in. Fly is going to pick him. As soon as he's ready, he's going to get a chance, no matter who comes out for him. So you don't want to be too complacent going to, especially if we are winning and we're just cruising along, dropped a couple of games here and there, but just cruising along, sitting in between 3rd and 6th, somewhere around there, cementing our spot in the 8. Nah, that's not how it works in this club, bro. You got to hurry up and you got to perform every single week. Like McRae said, you might be fit enough to play, but are you fit enough to perform? And that's why they didn't pick the goalie against Port Adelaide. They didn't pick the goalie against, and they picked the goalie against Bulldogs. They didn't pick him for the first 2 games. Sean, I always look at the season banking the wins. If we win enough games, then we can drop a game every now and then, win 4 games, drop 1, and we end up being top 4 easily. Well, that's sort of the ace up the sleeve, isn't it? So that's what you want because, this time last year, we weren't winning a few games, drawing ones that we should have won, lost a couple, won 4, or didn't lose a game for what was it? We didn't lose a game for 11 weeks because we had draws and stuff in there, and then we dropped 4, and then we won a couple, lost the Sydney game, won a couple, and missed out on the finals by a percentage. So I think Charlie West and Hoskin Elliott and Ed Allen should play this week for Collingwood. I still think West might be a few weeks away, but he's not that far off. He's conditioning himself perfectly. As I said before, he's soaking up the education piece in the VFL. He's getting himself ready to go. So, yeah, it's going to be, when he comes in, I think he's going to be one of those forwards that makes an impact straight away. I've got this feeling he's going to be like a Darcy Fogarty to start off with. He's got that build. He's got that. He looks like he's going to make that impact like a Darcy Fogarty from Adelaide. And, I mean, that's grouse. That's potentially a 4th big boy in there. You know what I mean? How are you going to fit them all in? I don't know. That's why if someone drops off, see you later. What do you think about us dropping out of opening round? I love it personally. JWS, back to having 0 crowd attendances. I don't know about the crowd attendances side, so to speak. They're shit. But we said when Jeff Brown was president after the opening round last year, we came out as a club and said we're not going to participate in this anymore because obviously after we won the grand final, we obviously had that really short preseason. We've got stuck back into preseason. We copped injuries. McStay did his knee. Quainer did his ankle. There was all this fucking bullshit happening. And then before you know it, intra-club game, played against Richmond, bang, season started. We got spanked, right? We lost the first 3. So, and let's face it, they're still celebrating the premiership. It wasn't for me. I was, even after Anzac Day last season, I wasn't mentally, as a fan, fully invested and checked into the season because I was still like, well, won the flag last year. It'll just happen, sort of thing. But that all comes down to the start also with the performance on the field, the preparation that you've got, right? We didn't even nail our preparation this season for the GWS game. Now, I'm all happy to stay in, as a supporter, I'm happy to stay in opening round. But everybody gets opening round. Everybody gets it. You can have Victorian teams playing Victoria, the Queensland teams play against each other, or the interstate sides travel, and you have all the Victorian guys punch on against each other for 4 points. Or scrap it, and your other option is just play round 1 and start the season like you always do between Richmond and Carlton. Like, even as a non-Collingwood supporter, even as a Collingwood supporter and watching a non-Collingwood game, right? You, as a neutral fan, that's the word I'm looking for. How G'd up do you get when the footy season's back and you see Richmond versus Carlton? Just for the sake of, like, footy being back, you know? So, a couple more things I'll get through, and then I'll get to the next one, the next point. Getting excited. West is showing all the right signs. Yeah, he is. West will turn into Tex Walker. His mongrel athleticism is very promising. It's the majority of the battles on most key forwards. If they just have that, they'll come good. I hope so. Do you think Darcy Cameron and Bruzzy stay at Collingwood? All right. This will be the last one, and then I'll get to the rest after my next thing. I'll leave that on here. This is a good one. You want to hear what I'm going to say about this? Darcy Cameron. All right. So today, when I was mentally preparing what I was going to say for my live, I was in the shower, and I was just thinking about what I'm going to say in my live. And this is one of the points that I had. Darcy Cameron is the best ruckman in the competition. If there's any non-Collingwood supporters watching this, screenshot it, and you can keep the receipt for whenever, because you're never going to have to bank it in. At the moment, Darcy Cameron is the best ruckman in the competition. He might not have stats up there like Gawn does or did. He may not be Tom De Koning, okay? But I can tell you, or Tristan Sherry, but I can tell you now that the influence that Darcy Cameron has at Collingwood compared to any other ruckman at their team, the intercept marking down back, the marking up forward, he can hit the scoreboard when he needs to, his play around the ground, his tackling pressure, his tap ruckman, his tap rucking, his second, third and fourth efforts. He is right now, in my opinion, Collingwood hat on, off, neutral thing, whatever, the best ruckman in the competition for what he offers his team. It's as simple as that. Find me a ruckman, right, in the competition right now that offers his team the consistency that Darcy Cameron offers Collingwood. Because Carlton supporters can scream Tom De Koning does that. Relax, he's not even going to be there next year. You're going to turn around and say Darcy Cameron was better than him anyway, right? He is the most influential ruckman in the competition for his team, by far. The first 10 minutes against Carlton, right, Tom De Koning had Darcy Cameron covered. Why? Because in the first minute of the game, the ball got bounced, right? And I think Nick Dacos and Cameron collided. And he was a bit disorientated. I was surprised he didn't go for the concussion rule. They let him play on, right? It took him a little bit to get in. Now, Carlton was screaming for Pitney to come back to help out De Koning. And that would have been different around the ground if he was there. Because I actually don't mind Pitney. I think he's actually a decent ruckman. He's nothing special, but he's decent, right? And I think Tom De Koning for them is screaming for him to come and help. But anyway, that's just a side point. I just watch a lot of footy, so I know this stuff. But the way that Darcy Cameron was doing his thing against Carlton, and after that first 10 minutes of the first quarter, where was De Koning? Where was he? I guarantee you forgot about him. I guarantee you didn't see any impact that he had. He might have won a couple of ruck battles and put on some contested body pressure or whatever it is to Darcy Cameron. Cameron was like, yep, after the contest, see ya, we're off. Dacos got the ball. Dacos 1, Dacos 2. Whichever one in that order. They got the ball, we're off. Pendles with the ball, we're off. Soddy, ball, we're off. You know? Darcy Moore was pushing up. See you later, we're going. We cannot, I don't care who we lose. If we lose Pendles, if we lose Sidey, if we lose Howe, we lose Jamie Elliott, we lose Hoskin Elliott in the next couple of years with retirements or whatever it is, we cannot trade Darcy Cameron. And I don't want to trade DeGoey as well. But if I had to lose one of them, I'll lose DeGoey before I lose Darcy Cameron. He is, in my lifetime, from watching Collingwood, from the very, very early 90s when we won the flag in 1990. That's how old I am, right? From then till now, we haven't had a ruckman as good as him, ever. And I'm putting Darren Jolly and Brady Grundy into that. Grundy at his peak was fantastic because he was like that extra fifth midfielder. No worries. But then as soon as Grundy signed that contract, his mentality went off. Darcy Cameron consistently performs all the time. Darcy Cameron's a better ruckman too when Mason Cox plays in the team, but we can't fit Mason Cox in the team at the moment on a consistent basis. So I hope that answers it for you. And Bruzzy's staying at Collingwood. I was going to talk about Bruzzy's contract, but I don't think I need to. I don't think he's going. Collingwood are going to come to the party with Bruzzy. That's all I'll say. Collingwood will come to the party. They're not going to offer Bruzzy the amount of money North Melbourne's offering, but they'll offer him a substantial amount more. And he'll be like, that's it. I'm a one-club player. I'm staying here. He's always going to ask for a little bit higher. The club's going to go here. They'll negotiate. Then he'll stall and say, no, sorry, I can't. Then Collingwood will be like, here, take it. We'll just take the deal and we'll back into the whole thing. That's what it's going to be. And I've got intel on that too, that his deal is going to be heavily back-ended for the end of his career. So the next part I want to talk about, and then we'll get into some fan cams and stuff. What do you guys think is going to happen against Sydney? So my biggest concern for the game against Sydney is I think Amadi is a very, very underrated forward, and his kicking isn't that bad. I mean, he's had a few shockers and stuff like that. But I think we're going to have the same problems with Amadi than what we did with Darcy from Bulldogs. And I'm finding that because of our backline and sometimes how we look a little bit vulnerable in our backline, we're almost got the same problem every week now against a big forward where you need to stop that midfield delivery. And I feel like our mids are working overtime, like a lot overtime. If we can keep banking the wins, yeah, it's great. But I just feel as if we may get... The other thing too is we got sucked into Carlton's style of play on Thursday night. I said this in my live... I said this in my video, when I did my review. I don't think we got dragged down to their level of such, but we did get sucked into their game style, but we beat them at their own game style. And we looked good in that 10-minute period in the third quarter. Nick Dacos, he's coming close to the best player I've ever seen. And I know that sounds, like a generalized, bullshit call or whatever, but he's the way he plays football, it's like watching the burst of Dane Swan out of the pack, get the ball, bounce, see you later, gone. With the finesse of a Scott Pendlebury. That's the only way that I can put it into words. That's the only way that I can see like his bullishness when he gets the ball, bang, see you later. His contested side of things is all right? But when he gets the ball and he's off, you can't catch him. I mean, he got tackled a few times against Carlton because as soon as he got the ball, he got tackled straight away. But you can't catch him when he's on a run. I think that game against Brisbane where he scored that goal when Lockie Neal was chasing him, I think he was running it. Was it like fucking over 50 k's an hour? I mean, you're running that, bouncing. So, anyway. I just think our midfields are working a bit overtime and we need to try and get our halfbacks in on the game a lot more, but get them to be like their disposal efficiency needs to be 100% and they need to spread. So I really think this game against Sydney is made for someone like a Josh Dacos, especially with the fact that Houston's out as well. And if Will Hoskin-Elliott does come in, he usually plays all right against Sydney. And I think, we're not playing them at the SCG either. We play good in Adelaide, And for some reason, Jamie Elliott turns it on in Adelaide. So I just think that the history would speak for itself, and we should be able to get up. We should be able to get up against them. So just a couple more comments I'll go through. So I do think that we'll win against Sydney, and I'm tipping us by about 18 points against Sydney. But it's with Schultz out, it is a bit of a I wouldn't be surprised if we lose at the same time as well. ESC Australia, thank you for your comments too on the last few videos. Just debut West, man. It's looking like that soon. What happened to Di Matteo? He's not really talked about much. For someone who was a first-round draft pick for us after the flag, he hasn't. I don't know. Look, he got injured, and we could have used him last year, and he got injured. I think he had the hammy, the finger, and stuff, and it just didn't work out for him. But, I mean, he didn't actually look that bad in the twos as well. But I think I'm almost going to be putting him in the Finn McRae basket in the next 10 weeks if he hasn't done anything. If we get towards the end of the season and we're screaming for players or injuries or whatever it is, and he's not recognised or he's not ready, I don't know how long he'll stay on for. Ian using Triple M, go down, he's in. Well, yeah, I hope so. We need to get Mason from the VFL in the MSD. He's another. We need to get Mason. Oh, Mason, yes, he kicked like 5, didn't he? Yeah, I reckon he'll go to another club. I don't reckon we'll pick him up. I think they're going to look for the backman. Sorry, I missed that last bit. Not to mention he's a pure natural forward as well. But we've got West coming in, and for some reason now, it's the first time in God knows how long, this club is stacked with big, tall key forwards. When the fuck has Collingwood ever been stacked with big, tall key forwards? The last time we got stacked with tall key forwards was the Travis Cloak, Chris Dawes days. Yeah, he had the injuries I've already mentioned. Mason does look great, but I reckon he will get stepped up before the first pick in the mid-season draft, especially if if his form continues, and they'll pumping him up on SEN too this morning. Literally, as I was driving my son to daycare, they were talking about it. I'm like, oh, here we go. I liked Eddie's model for opening round, which had all Victorian teams playing each other in the opening round. Yeah, I mentioned that before. I think he's actually on the ball with that. And just on that too, if you're going to bring back State of Origin and you're going to push the season back, do it. But I reckon what they should do is every club has to have like 2 or 3 players nominate to play that are haven't played a certain amount of AFL games. So let's say if they've played between 1 and 10, let's say Dematia plays 2 games this season, is he South Australian? I can't remember. Or is he Victorian? I can't remember. But let's just say he's Victorian or South Australian. He qualifies for that, so he has to go in. I reckon they've got to do something with the young kids to get them in there and expose them to, I know it's like a little round-robin tournament, but get them exposed to AFL intensity. Because I can tell you now, I reckon there is a big desire for players to play for their state. Huge. A huge desire. And if you're going to do an actual Division 1, Division 2 and have an All-Australian Cup final, that'd be massive. That'd be massive. And don't give me this people talking about injuries and all that type of crap. At the end of the day, Lockie Schultz did his hammy at training. Nick Dacos can snap his ankle riding his bike across the road. Play him. Just play it. Darcy Cameron wins clearances too. Thank you. Do you think Houston need to change how they play the game and doesn't get? Yeah, well, you should. I just think if you're gonna, you've nailed Isaac Rankin from pillar to post. You got 5 weeks. You missed out in the final series. You missed out in the first game against your new club, for your new club, and then your first game was against your old club. Lucky you had a good game, but you didn't have to put yourself in that position. You know what I mean? And then you've come back. You've played 3 games. 2 of the 3 have been fantastic. He was amazing against Carlton, right? And then we haven't seen you for 2 weeks. But thank God you're back for Anzac Day. You know? I would have preferred him to do that on Anzac Day if he was going to do it. But it is what it is. I'll drop the link in a minute. I definitely think Cameron has gone past Gordon this season. Top 3 are Cameron, Sherry, and De Koning. Yeah, I think it's probably, in my opinion, it'll be Cameron, De Koning, Sherry, Gawn. And then just based on his form for 3 of the 4 games or whatever, I reckon Nankervis is up there too. I actually think he's been playing all right football. So I think he's had 1 shit game. Cameron is the number 1 intercept marker in ruckman in the competition. Are you saying Darcy Cameron is better than McKee? Oh, Steve McKee. Remember the days when we talk about nostalgia? Steve McKee, Fanning, Cameron Wood, right? Guy Richards. Come on, bro. I'm spitting out gospel here, man. Like, I know a ruckman. All right. There's a few comments still here. I'm not going to get through all of them because all I'll be doing is reading comments and stuff like that. And this last one quickly, I'll go, do you think the guy will play against Brisbane next week? I'm going to call it. I'm going to say DeGoey is Chris Bryan, another one too. I'm going to say that DeGoey is not going to play till Anzac Day, and Schultz won't play till Geelong. But we'll get DeGoey and Houston back for Anzac Day. That's my personal opinion. Oh, Chris Bryan. Yes. All right. Let me drop the link in here. We'll give people 10 minutes, 12 minutes to say whatever they want. There's a few of us on now, so don't let it be just the same old that get on. Someone new jump on. Copy. Here we go. Paste. Jump on. Go. That link should be working. It's up there. Click it. Come on. Get on. Get on, peeps. Come on. 10 minutes. Just spit facts. Just go. No one's on yet. Surely you can click it. Get on. I've got a mad background too that I did. So I want people to get on. We nearly won a flag with McKee, Jared Malloy, and Matthew Loken. Yeah, I know. And then Brisbane fucking... Anyone coming on yet? Don't embarrass me. Get on. Sean, I know you want to get on. Jump on. Bozzo, if you're still on, get on. Peter G, you've been one of my OGs from the start. Get on. Here's another thought. Do we trade Jordan DeGoey? Just put in the comments. Stephanos, get on. The link's up. Come on, guys. Give me a minute. Yeah, Sean's coming on. Until Sean comes on, someone jump on. DeGoey won't play for another 3 weeks. DeGoey, I don't know. I don't reckon he'll be back to Anzac Day. I've just got this feeling. Guys, while you're at it, I come on, I just finished a 12-hour shift and I look like death. I'm not going to judge you by your looks, bro. I'm on medication right now because I've got a gout and it's fucked me up something vicious here. And I haven't gone to the barbershop in God knows how long. Yes, trade to go for Rao. It's a comment. Anyway, get your hoodies, bro. Get your hoodies. The link's in my bios and stuff like that. I've had a couple of sales which have been nice, but get your hoodies. They go from sizes small to 3XL. $65 a hoodie. Or 70. But I said 65, so I'll do it for 65 for you. $65 a hoodie. Get them before they're gone. My supplier's like, I thought you said you were going to sell more. I'm like, yeah, maybe. And they're like 3. Come on, man. What else am I going to say? Yeah, so DeGoey, I don't know if we'll trade DeGoey. I wouldn't personally trade him myself. I think that if we can get Rao somehow, because don't forget Tom McGon's coming in too, yeah? It's nothing. The whole media stuff about Petrarca, non-Collingwood news for a second, but the whole thing with Petrarca and his showing his emotion and all that rubbish, like, surely an AFL player is allowed to be upset after a loss and show emotion the way that he did. Like, I really don't think that that's, anything bad to do that. Like, like, do you want the players to be like show no emotion and give you all the false crap, right? Or do you want them to be raw and open up with you and let them know how they're feeling? Or do you have to find a happy medium and then you won't be happy with that? Like, come on, man. Petrarca shouldn't have re-signed with Melbourne. He's sort of trapped there now. There's some loophole in the clause. If you want to get out, you can get out. Here we go. Mick Sacker's on.
How are you, buddy?
How are you, mate?
Am I loud and clear?
Tell me what you got.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What you got for me?
How's things? Before I start, man, just I've seen you from right from the start, and your content's elite, man. You and Anthony from Bias Footy, unbelievable, man. I love watching the new stuff that's coming in every day, and it's
Thanks,
just
bro.
great to see, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's and I've jumped on his channels and stuff a few times.
Yeah.
He's been a little bit of an inspo for me at the same time too. So hopefully I can get to his level of stuff. We've got a different niche sort of thing. He's very much more about the stats and that type of stuff, and reads all the news articles, which I love as well. I'm more of a literally from the stands watching. This is exactly what I've seen. I'm just going to spit out to you what I've seen on the field. So I think it all works. It all works hand in hand. The way that there's different, you got different angles of the way that stuff's done. Like Swoop does all the mainstream stuff. He'll go to training. He'll give you all that stuff. But it sounds like for me that his stuff sounds like it's coming directly from the club, which it's not. But I sort of love the way that he does it too, because it gives you that different perspective of things. So I think that the main three of us have got this different style that it just seems to work. Everything complements each other, which is really good.
Yeah. And are you going to be a regular on on that Carlton show with Rocco and all that? Because that was funny, man.
Yeah, look, I don't mind jumping on. I sort of give them their space, like if I can, but they do ask me to come on and stuff like that, which is really good. I have to try and be a little bit more respectful when I'm on their channel because they're inviting me over. But I think tomorrow night on the Forever Rivals, I'm going to be giving them a fair bit of my opinion because I held back a fair bit last week. Yeah, and they give Manny so much. I feel sorry for the bloke. So,
oh man, they give it to the poor cunt, man. Just I don't know, like. Look, they're obviously mates, yeah. They're just fucking around, but I was watching because, like, I'm bad. Whenever Carlton lose, yeah, I always watch their all the different Carlton social medias just to make myself feel better too.
yeah. I don't know.
They always give it to Manny.
Bad. I find that sometimes I'm not a Carlton sympathiser. Believe me, I'm not. But I watched like the Monday Blues last night. I watched the majority of it, and it's so entertaining seeing how miserable they are. And it's like, if I was a St Kilda supporter or a Richmond supporter or a Essendon supporter, not even Essendon, maybe like a North Melbourne supporter, you'd sort of feel sorry for them because of their expectations were so high. But the crap that they gave us in the mid-90s, in the 2000s and stuff, I just have no care factor at all. Like,
I grew up in the 80s, man. I copped it, mate. I used to go to I went to school with Lance Whitnell, and his brother. All right, Dad played for Carlton. And they used to give it to me, man. And Kudafidis also went to my school, but he was like about 5 years older than me. And he was a Collingwood supporter, So then he went to Carlton. Lance Whitnell fucking ended up playing for Carlton. I'm like, fuck it hell. Then I got to see him winning premierships in '95. I'm like, fuck it hell. But we've turned the tables on him over, they've got nothing
Well,
to say for the last 2 decades.
And this is the thing. And I said in one of my videos, it's not about Carlton living rent free in our minds or anything like that. It's just the fact that they're annoying and the crap that they've given us over the years, right? Even for me in the late 80s and the 90s and like leading into today, the thing that gets me the most now is that we're 134 wins to 129 or something. So you'd think if we play them twice in a season, that's like 3 seasons of us not winning a game for them to equalise us. And then they have to obviously overtake, and there might be a season there where we only play them once, right? Now, in my mind, they're not winning the flag in the next 5 to 10 years, the way they're going now, right? We're obviously more of a chance, which whatever, take the flags aside. Paper, in the history books, we are better than them on the field, off the field, like as in the way the clubs run and in the stands with the fans and stuff. We are better than them all round. The only thing that they've got on us, is the fact that they've beaten us in grand finals in the 70s and 80s. But really, that's it. But the history book still says you've got 16 flags, we've got 16 flags, Essendon's got 16 flags. And if they want to keep talking about the 70s and we've done this and this and that, okay, that's fine. That's like me bringing up 19, 27, 28, 29, and 30. It's pointless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. If me bringing up 2010 to them means nothing, and then 23 is like, oh, it's in the past. But then you think about it, right? They bring up 2023 more than we bring up 2023, and we won the flag that year. And they're too busy because of their run. Your run means nothing, bro. Like, who cares about your run?
Yeah.
Like, your premiership window was open for a half of football against Brisbane in a preliminary final, and you shut the bed.
Yeah.
So,
and they were giving it to us right up until round 0. Yeah, remember we got done by GWS before the Richmond game. I copped fucking 5 days of fucking banter from these bastards at work, and mate, after Richmond game, I've never been more happy for the result of a neutral game after that game. I was the biggest Richmond supporter that night.
After we lost to GWS, I'll be honest with you, I was a bit like, fuck, how am I going to go through this now? You know, I'm doing this content creation. We've just been spanked. We're going to have to front up. Here we go. And then after I did that, and then Carlton lost to Richmond, it took all the disappointment away from losing against GWS away. Like, it was just like, okay, like, how good is this? We just got a lifeline now. They're going to be in the media. We don't have to worry about it. And then the next week we go out and we beat Port Adelaide by 91 points. I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
so what do you reckon?
Let's not talk about them too much.
No, it's good.
Let's talk about
I didn't drop anything. Let's talk about the Sydney game. What do you reckon is going to happen against Sydney?
I'm optimistic, despite the outs that we got. I'm quietly optimistic. Yeah. I reckon we can do a nice team effort, and look, I reckon we'll probably win by 20-something points. I reckon that's my tip at the moment. Look, I reckon Perryman will take Heaney. That'll and even if what's his name, Jordan tags Dacos, even when Dacos gets tagged, he still has 2 or 3 game-changing moments. Yeah, so he can be low on possessions or whatever, but he can he can light it up. Yeah, like in a small period of time, and that brings the others into the game. But as you said, we just got to see a lift from McCreary, Bobby Hill, Quaidor, as you said.
You could almost chuck Jamie Elliott into that, and you can almost chuck Jamie Elliott into that sort of fold as well. I reckon he's not far off getting a bit of a kick up the arse and just say, hey, listen, like, we need you now. I think with Sydney too, like the games at the Adelaide Oval, I think it's a bit different to the game being played at the SCG in that smaller, narrower ground, which they've mastered. Because if you look at it, when we played against them at the MCG, apart from the game last year where they spanked us. Like when we play against them at the G, we've beaten them. We played against them at ANZ Stadium or Stadium Australia or whatever, the Olympic Stadium. We beat them, right? They barely ever beat us. I think they beat us once in the prelim final and once in 2005 by a point or some shit like that. You know, we had them 10 years in a row, 10 games in a row, whatever it was. They couldn't beat us, and those games weren't played at the SCG. I just don't think we've adapted to that ground well since we've gone back to playing there. And against Adelaide or Port Adelaide, when we play at that ground, we're a lot better. I just think that we turn it up against at that Adelaide Oval really well. So I think it's not going to. I don't think it matters where we're playing them, whether it's Melbourne or in Adelaide. I am confident, but I think the Schultz loss, that's the one that's a bit more like. I mean, Dan Houston's a big loss. Jordan De Goey is a big loss, but just the way that Schultz is impacting the play around the forward line and stuff, I think that's a really big loss for us this week.
Yeah. I can't see us not kicking straight again. You know, we've done it 2 weeks in a row now. So we just got to take our chances. And I don't know what it is, man. Fucking look, it was probably when Whitecheck was missing those goals, it was pissing down rain, man. So you can give him a reprieve for that, but you don't want it to continue.
I think it's because of the Bulldogs game as well. Like you kick a couple of those goals or you take those chances against the Dogs, you're going to put them away by 25 points minimum. And against Carlton, if we took our chances, really, we're a 10-goal team better than them. Like we are 10 goals better than them. And to only win that game by 17 points, I thought was really like flattering to them. I think it sort of made them look a bit better than they were. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'd rather that be on us. I'd rather that be on us than we just go out and fix it next week, you know?
Yeah. And it's also the start of the year, you know, it doesn't matter how you win games, man. You just want to be up and firing. You know, like 3 weeks before the finals, that's when you want to hit your real peak, yeah? Not now. Now, if you win a lucky game by 1 point with a shitty umpiring decision, you just take it, man. And even if you're playing shit, you learn from it.
I think, as I said before, I think in the next 4 weeks, if we can go 3-1, I think that's a fantastic result for us in the next 3 weeks. If we I'm not too confident against Brisbane. In Brisbane, you've always got reservations against them there, regardless. Even though we beat them last year, there, I'm a bit hesitant about that one. But Essendon, Anzac, there, I think we'll take care of them pretty easily. The Geelong one, I'm pretty confident because I don't think they're playing that good football. Geelong, I think they're going to be that team that sits around about between 7th and 10th this season now after seeing what they've done. I don't think they're going to catapult back up anytime soon. They just look slow, and Dangerfield was, you know, he looked all right, but he still looked like he was playing slow motion footy. So I think we should be able to run them off their legs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to pretty much head off from here. It's been an hour on, but I really appreciate you jumping on, and thanks for the contribution that you've had since I started. I really do appreciate that, man. And hopefully we can keep the content coming up.
No worries.
And if there's any suggestions and stuff that you got or whatever, let me know because I'm pretty keen to take this to the next level now, which is really good.
No worries, man. Just keep it up. It's been good watching you grow, and I'm sure you'll keep going, mate. You're a natural at this, man. You talk very well. You get the message. No, you do, man. You present your points really clearly, and you get it through. You don't ramble on like someone like me, yeah. So it's I look forward to your content all the time, man.
No worries. I really appreciate it, man. Well, thanks, heaps. I really appreciate it. Nice. Yeah. Take it easy, bro. Thank you. Thanks, Mick. All right, we're going to pretty much leave it there for tonight. But, yeah, I've had heaps of people on today, so thank you so much. I do apologise for the late start and stuff, but we're gonna have to end it there. I've been given the background by the wife. Hurry up. So I will sorry, Sean. I know you just got on, bro. I've got to head off. Sorry, bro. Next week, man. Oh, fuck it. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go.
Yeah. So
Predictions
obviously with
against Sydney. Give me predictions against Sydney.
Man, I haven't looked into it too much because I don't know who's injured from Sydney side, because I feel like they have a few injuries. I just hope that we can back their speed a lot, because obviously we've got our midfield is pretty slow at the moment. So I just hope that obviously side independents can keep up. Obviously with your point with the key forwards as well too, I think that's also has to do a lot with Justin Leppich, because obviously when in his day, obviously he was a key forward and even played in the back line as well too. So I think that's sort of where you're also seeing a lot of key positions being drafted, and we're sort of going after, because I believe McStay was also from the Leppich as well, because of obviously his days at Brisbane.
What do you reckon result? How much do you reckon will win or lose?
Oh, it's very 50-50.
I think we'll win. I think we'll win, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did lose this game at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, our record at Adelaide is pretty good. Albeit we haven't played Sydney in Adelaide, so it's like sort of we don't have a track record. But yeah, I'm sort of hoping. Yeah, I mean, Adelaide's been pretty quiet, as you mentioned before, and I can see him popping up, kicking 3 or 4. So yeah, if we win, it won't be by much. If you want a margin, I'd say Pies by 8 points, maybe. Hopefully.
Okay. So it's that close.
It's going to be another close one.
Sure. Now, I made a call on Ant's fan cams after the game against Carlton when I was driving home. I think you were watching. I'm going to say this now: Lockie Schultz is the reincarnation of Paul Medhurst.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be all for it. I mean, if we can get another Medhurst, he was. Yeah,
I just think his pressure's elite, man. Like he's tackling the way he tries to lock it in there, and then he hits the scoreboard. Like if you can, I know he has bad games here and there, like, but everyone does at the same time, you know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I just found it because I know. Who was it? There was a guy. He tried to get on the board. Oh, I probably shouldn't mention his name anyway, because he may not like what I'm about to say. But I know he was having a crack at the Schultz trade and stuff. This was like, I think it was in the middle of last year and stuff. And yeah, he was like, oh, if I was on the board, I wouldn't have let the Schultz trade go through, blah, blah. And I think I was the only one too. I was literally the only one in the comments was being like, dude, hasn't even been 12 months yet. Just give him at least 12 months. And he just seemed like, I won't say his name because I'm about to probably get into him at the moment, but like, he just seemed he was just taking pot shots and stuff, and he was trying to get on the board and everything like that. If people want to do a bit of digging, they can probably find out who it is. But he just seemed to be very specific in what he wanted to put out in terms of the agenda of the topics and stuff. And just I don't know, the Schultz one sort of I didn't appreciate the Schultz one, because I just think it was such an opportunistic sort of topic to take.
I think I had some doubts about it, like the game against Carlton last year when he got reported and his disposal was shit, and I'm like, but at the same time, we're battling a premiership hangover. We're trying to get back into the midst of the whole thing. We're not playing the greatest. He's at a new club that's just won a flag. Like it's like he's playing with his hands tied behind his back, and he's trying to fit in to the new system and that type of thing.
Yeah, because I mean, his first half, there's no defending. His first half wasn't great. But and I think people are starting to realise his second half was actually a lot better than what people gave him credit for. A lot of people assumed what he had in the first half, he had in the second half, which isn't true. So I think he ended up, I can't remember how many goals he finished off with. And then
he was our second highest. He was our second highest goal kicker.
Yeah, I want to say he kicked 27.
I think Bobby Hill kicked. I think Bobby Hill kicked 30.
He'll kick 30.
Yeah, Schultz was only Schultz was only a few goals off, because he came home right at the end of the season pretty hard, kicking goals and stuff. So yeah, Sean, I do have to let you go, man. I've got to get off him, but thank you so much thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the late start today,
Yeah.
man. Just with getting stuff around the house done and everything too. But thanks heaps,
No
man. I
worries.
really appreciate your contribution, bro. We'll
Yeah.
probably talk next week, all right, mate?
Yeah, all good. Sounds good.
Nice. Thanks, bro. Cheers. All right, guys, I'm going to head off. Thank you so much for tuning in. Get your hoodies, buy a Black and White United membership on YouTube. Make sure you follow the socials and stuff like that too. Massive shout out to my man Angelo Adamo from New Homes Victoria, being our sponsor for the show here. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Appreciate the love and support. And I'll see you. I'll do my preview for the Sydney game within the next 24, 48 hours. And we'll see what happens at Gather Round. And if you haven't been to Gather Round, I went last year. It's good. Adelaide's a shithole, but it's good. So hopefully we can get the win and make it 3 Gather Rounds from 3. As always, drop your comment. Tell me what you think. Call it as you see it. Go the Pies.